Good morning, Paul. My name is Alfonso Benson, and I think in Steve Jobs' video, he really gives a clear observation on life in terms of how we should build our lives. Like, if we want to live freely, we kind of remind ourselves about death, because at the end of the day, like, no one's gotten out of life alive, so we always gotta move forward and live with those things, because in his life he also talked about how his mother gave him up for adoption, and that kind of probably hurt him, and maybe feel discouraged that maybe he wouldn't be able to finish college. And not that he couldn't finish college, he was more than capable. It's just he thought like he was his family's mistake, and they gave him away. I don't know. I guess that's what I took from it. I could be wrong, but I really feel like he had a in that time. Like, when you look at your parents, you kind of think of your parents as like who you are. Sometimes you could think you're your mom or your dad, when in reality that's not true. You create who you want to be, even though they gave you birth. That doesn't mean who they are defines your future. And I personally have had that problem, especially with my father. I can say we grew up in Los Angeles, and I think here in the Philippines, everybody thinks our lives are so easy back home. And maybe for a lot of Filipinos, it is easy, but for me and my dad, we always struggled, and there was, he actually went to jail when I was 14, and then we had to find money to bail him out. We had to find people to help raise money to get him out, and then he ended up leaving his wife at the time. We moved to Culver City with me and my sister, and man, we had a really hard time. We always had like 6 people in one bedroom, and like in a 2 bedroom house, 1 bathroom. So 6 people just to pay the rent. It was so expensive, and I never had a bed. I was always sleeping on the floor, and and I went to school in Beverly Hills, a wealthy school. But good thing I was able to play basketball. The coach saw me play. But for me, even now, I could always think like, man, like, could I ever be financially stable? You know, financial stability has always been the biggest thing. I know that's not the most important thing. Like, and I know in reality that's not everything, but money's a necessity to live. But I think Steve Jobs, like for me, I guess I could think like, oh no, like I'm meant to be poor. Maybe I should just like take shortcuts, like my father did. My father, he did credit scams. We were on welfare, and I was like, oh, maybe I should take shortcuts. But I realize like now that I have the decision to be who I want to be, and that at the end of the day, God was the one who created who I am, not my mom and dad. But Steve Jobs definitely like gave me that insight. Like, oh, like I don't have to, just because I may come from some poverty, it doesn't mean I'm gonna be poor forever. I can still build my life if I keep moving forward in the right direction, looking to do things correctly. And yeah, and then me, I always think, I try to think, man, I will die soon, and I hope I serve my purpose that God wants me to serve. Because I mean, yeah, no one's getting out of life alive. But I really was inspired by the video, and I appreciate you for allowing me to do this assignment. I think this is a really good assignment for me, because I needed to really reevaluate so I can move forward in my life. But thank you, Miss Ingat.